Hey, welcome back. I have so been looking forward to this episode. My goal was to get you right up to date. Too much footage, just can't do it in this one. But in this episode, I am going to tame the Tamar, taming the Tamar River. It's just an amazing journey. Really hope you enjoy it. Along the way, we just see some amazing sights and we find the burial place for people on the Titanic. Hope you enjoy it. I'll just drop the anchor. Penta meets John Deere. Hey? Penta meets John Deere. Here we go, all tied up with a Targa 46 right beside us. How cool is that?
I'm sorry, due to circumstances beyond our control, we're unable to answer your call at this time. Please call back later.
Well, that kind of sums up Garmin, doesn't it? Let's try it again. Trying to ring Garmin UK. This is Garmin Europe UK.
I'm sorry, due to circumstances beyond our control, we're unable to answer your call at this time. Please call back later.
Okay, I will, don't you worry. In the meantime, I'll send an email.
Pilot issue you are having on your boat and the onboard warranty that you're offering to actually get the CCU changed, or at least replaced or placed in another location. So we have heard from our dealer in Poole, who will be attending the boat, and from the information we've received from them, they are planning to go onto the boat on the 1st of May.
I can't do the 1st of May.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here 3 weeks now waiting for this, and I advised Henry that the 1st of May I have to be in London. So
I see. Yeah. And which other day would work for you next week, I believe? I'm here next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Why's nobody got in touch with me about this? Because this was 4 days ago now that they were going to. Yeah, again, I'm not entirely sure because we are also still waiting for our contact in Poole or our dealer in Poole to actually just confirm a couple of things with us, because of course we are sending quite a few pieces to them as well to take them with them to the boat. But yeah, no, I do apologize for that one.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's no problem. No problem. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I had to chase them. 5 days ago, they were going to come back to me, and you hear nothing. There's a real skeptic inside me that says with these warranty things, it's obviously what each manufacturer hates dealing with, but you can't help but feel that there's a philosophy of the less you communicate, the more likely it is someone's just going to give up and go and pay to get it fixed themselves. But, oh well, back to my porridge with mandarins, blueberries, and a little bit of brown sugar on the top. I'll keep you up to date, because you're almost right up to date now. So you're living it with me. I'm sharing the load. Far out. Keep patient, Mark. Keep patient. 3 weeks here, and all I've managed to get done is the fire service. Okay. Okay, very exciting today. Pretty sure it's the 25th of April. And man, we are almost smack up to date, but I didn't quite make it. But anyway, by the time this one goes out, we will be. So here we are in Plymouth, southwest coast of the UK, France over this side. What we're going to do today is, for the weekend, I'm going to pop up. Here's the harbour here. Whoop, just let that zoom in. Alright, that's better. So today also we are just trying out the camera up on the top here, just to try and zoom in on both of these screens at the front and see how that goes. But anyway, here's Plymouth Harbour, and what we're going to do is go all the way up to a place called Calstock. So just tap that, go auto guidance, go save previous path no, go start navigation. Tells me there's a lot of low water up there, we know that. Engage the autopilot, no. So we're over here in Jenny Cliff Bay. We're going to head across the harbour and then go up the Tamar River. There's the Tamar Bridge, look, where I went to that pub before. And then we're going to carry on up there about another 6 or 7 miles all the way to Calstock. Absolutely beautiful apparently, and it's a total of 14.9 miles. Now what's important is that we go up there on an ingoing tide, because it does get very shallow in places, but there are deep pools to anchor in. So it's important that we go up there on an incoming tide and then come back out on Sunday on an outgoing tide. So let's just have a look at that. We tap on the screen and we just arrow across, we go information, we go tides, there it is there. Now Saltash, look, that's where we were the other day at that pub. So at the moment at 1400 we're about half tide, and it's going up for the next 3 hours. So that's just perfect for us. We're going to have a nice following tide, take us in there, plenty of cover across the bottom of the river, and then we'll find somewhere nice to anchor. So that's it for today. Camera on the roof, dismal failure, it fell off. So it's a DJI thing and it keeps letting go. I don't know why, but anyway, that's a shame. We'll get the camera mounted out on the front and we'll do a bit of chatting from the side here. Okay, away we go. Alright, just bringing in the anchor, don't need to go over that again, you guys have seen that way too many times. Just going forward at about a knot towards the centre of the drag circle. Didn't have too much anchor out, so that's no problem. Alright, and that boat ahead of us is the Border Force patrol boat that I talked about for the customs people that came aboard us. And they live on that for 2 weeks. So just give you a quick look at that out of the forward camera. No doubt they won't want us getting too close, but anyway, Plymouth VTS Motor Yacht Awanui NZ, over. Yes, good afternoon, just departing Jenny Cliff Bay. We're going to head up the Tamar to Calstock 1 POB. Great here, we've got a survey boat going in ahead of us. Always nice following other boats in. Well, he's starting to turn, so that kind of indicates I'm going to lose him soon, but let's see, eh? Up there on the starboard side, Mayflower Marina, and currently there's a N47 in there. Yep, I see that right in front of us. Right, that's survey boats from the University of Plymouth. I bet they do some neat work down here. Like universities everywhere, they try new things and they get funding for things that the private sector probably just couldn't do because it would not pay off. But these guys, it's all in the spirit of learning. As we're heading up, you can probably see a little bit of tide against current, but certainly no problem for Awanui NZ. Awanui NZ. There is another Awanui in New Zealand. Can get fairly busy up the Tamar, so a couple of tugs going out. The Hamburg, a German frigate, is coming in. They had the pilot going out to it, and they had 3 pilots on board actually. They're doing training, so I'm assuming these tugs are going out to assist with her. And you can see those cable driven ferries ahead of us. I'll give noise for you. Yep, we've got some dangerous targets ahead. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I think the timing is going to be perfect on passing these ferries. You're going to get a good view, and then I'll just be able to slide behind them. Now, those nuclear subs that were up here, so two of them are being decommissioned. But the very first one that we saw was the Astute, and that's an active one, and that went out last Sunday. Anyway, I just thought I'd talk quickly. So I've been really working hard to try and get the episodes that I'm doing as up to date as I possibly can, so that effectively I can almost be doing some videoing, edit it, and then send it out the next day to you. Obviously some of it will always be a couple of days out, and I thought that by now I would have, but it's actually really hard to catch up because there's just always so much footage and I've only got so much storage. Yeah, the goal is to have you on the journey with me in as real time as possible. Right, there we go.
Flag. Just Robin inbound to 13 more Seatrials, please.
Both the ferries nice and clear. Oh. Yeah, we'll carry on. So you can see ahead of us there the Neptune Marine floating crane. That wasn't here the other day when I come up, and there's the Tamar River just going off to the port of that. Anyway, interesting. You see on here the chart, we are just back here. Here we are coming up, and we've got a point called Hen Point at the top here. If I tap that, it's a general warning beacon, and you won't be able to, yeah, you possibly can see it ahead of us, but it's a white line at the moment on that bank just slightly to port of the bow. But when we tap it, that's the information it gives, and basically it says we get a green light when we're on a bearing of between 306 and 318, and at the moment we're just on 318. So effectively that line through there, it's a new addition to Garmin, I think, is a guidance line to say that if you're inside that beam then you are safe. And then you see when we come up here, there's another guidance line off the right then to go through the Tamar Bridge, which is there, and that's where I was at Saltash in that pub that was painted with the Union Jack. So you can just see off to the starboard side there now the Tamar Bridge. So once we get up to this point here, starboard turn, I mean you could cut the corner a bit, be no harm there. We'll go past those barges that are all support barges for the Navy, and head on up to the Tamar with the liner out there on the left, you can see on the chart. Alright, so there's the Tamar Bridge, eh? I've forgotten what the rail bridge's name this side of it is. Named after the engineer anyway. And very soon you'll be able to see up there the Union Jack painted pub. Right, just going to go follow route here. See how that goes. So once we get through the Tamar, we're going to have to be pretty careful because it's new to all of us, me and you, and it does get a lot shallower in places. So we'll zoom right in and just take our time. We're currently doing 6.5 knots, so 1000 RPM. So no doubt about that. With a river flowing down, we've definitely got the tide helping us, and the wind behind us about 12 knots as well. So train bridge on this side is the Royal Albert Bridge. Must be Queen Victoria's husband, eh? Got my English history right there, have I? Hope so. Someone out for a day's sailing. That amazes me, that bridge. That rail bridge was built in the 1800s. Pretty amazing. And those centre spans were lifted, jacked up in place. So they're built as one on the shore, taken across in barges, I assume, and then lifted up, jacked up. I can't remember, I've got a feeling it was 8 months per beam to lift up there, just to get it up there. Anyway, I am sitting here looking over at the English pub. In fact, I'll give you a wee reminder of that look out through my clear view clean windows. There is the Salt Ash pub. Right, so there I am there. Now from here on, it's going to pull it through so you get an idea. These are all low tide depths, so 2.5 meters there. Gets basically down to 0 in the middle at low tide. A couple of pools here. See, there's some markers though. Another pool up here that's got an anchorage sign on it. But all through here at low tides, 1.2 meters, basically 0. Up round the bend there, come back around. See why it's so important to go up with an incoming tide. Here we go up to there, and we finish at Calstock. Stop panning, go out a bit so you can see the whole thing. There it is there. It's going to be pretty amazing. I'll get some drone footage while I'm up here. But also get some nice footage as we cruise on up. You can see here 7.5 meters. We're not far off full tide, and the tide is 3.8 meters. So it's going to lose say 4 meters off 7 meters. We'd still have 3 meters under us here, and that's pretty accurate according to the chart. Okay, up on the port there ahead of us, car green, bit of an anchoring area. Just going to watch and see how the follow route takes me here. Always be ready to take it out, but looks like a myriad of boats. But if I look at what's on the plotter, it looks like we're going to avoid them all. And what's been interesting, I've been watching on the sonar the whole time, and we've never gone below about 5 meters. So there's 2.8 meters of tide to go out to low tide at the moment, and that's the measurement below the keel, 5 meters. So there's still 2.2 meters of safety. Not that you'd want to test that, but so far you could actually come as far as I've come at low tide. So that's always nice to know. It's interesting. And it looks like the follow route is going to take us right through these yachts that are moored here. Lots of moorings up here. Wow. Nice little village. I bet they've got a pub. Where I'm going at Calstock, the pub is shut because it's being renovated. Otherwise it might have been bangers and mash tonight and a beer. Would have been nice. Anyway, I'll have a look when I get there. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Pretty close on the starboard side there. And look at those mooring buoys on the port side. But that auto route, wow. Wow. I'm impressed, Garmin. A little bit close to that mooring buoy on the port maybe, but so that's interesting. Just going to go into heading here. Going to go a little bit over to the left, because with the tide coming in, it's just pushing those boats and their sterns are coming out into the channel a little bit. Just give ourselves a little bit of room there. I mean, there's not much room on either side, so right, let's just go back to follow route again. As long as you just got a clear idea exactly what you're going to do, if you want to take the autopilot out, it takes less than a second. Coming up on the starboard is Weir Quay. Put my beanie on and my jacket. a little bit cool with that southeast wind blowing about 11 knots from out here. Right, we're coming up to that big U bend now. So we're basically going to go through almost 180 degrees and end up over there. So that'll be interesting to watch. It is very nice up here, people. So pleased you're coming along. I'll get this video out on Wednesday. You should get it Wednesday or Thursday morning. Fingers crossed there'll be some stuff from Wednesday on it. That's the goal. That's the goal. When I put it out, each video should end with something from that day, or at the latest, earliest I should say, the previous day. That's my goal. And hopefully you'll feel like you're here with me. Been a bit slack on the maintenance, you'll have noticed, last couple of videos, not much in it, but I'll get back into that. I've got a few tasks coming up. Still haven't cleaned the lazarette. I know I told you I'd do that about 2 episodes ago, but I will do it before we use the water maker again. Be a good chance to do the oil change on the pump, and I changed the filters just a little while ago. 5 miles to go till we get to Calstock. It's weird, but I would be a little bit more excited if the pub was open. I would. Terrible, isn't it? It'd just be so neat to go into a pub at Calstock, have bangers and mash and a beer. This is just beautiful around here. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. 5 meters underneath us. Hey buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, shame you can't see where I am.
Sure, where are you?
I'm about 10 miles up the Tamar River.
Oh, wow.
I'm way out in the countryside. It's just beautiful. Call me on video and I'll show you.
How will I? Is it tidal?
Yeah, it goes from, at low tide it's 0.2. There are places you can't pass, and then you got to go up on an incoming tide and go out on an outgoing tide.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Okay. Here's Vince. Anytime I'm pushing the limits, Vince is around. Have you noticed that, people? The grounding, crossing the VTS, although he didn't want to go that way, and now coming up the river. 3.5 meters below me. Alright, so we're down to 3 meters under the keel here, and we're almost at full tide. So at low tide, in theory, this would be dry. Let's just have a look here and see where the closest place is. It's a mile. 5 meters down to 1.2. What's that? 3.8. Yep. So it would be dry through here at low tide. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you look out there and look at it. It's looks like it's a ton of water, doesn't it? Beautiful marsh on the port side there. That is gorgeous. Be so close to being dry here, I reckon. Spring tide, boy would it be. Oh, I'm so pleased I came up here. Have I told you the pub's closed tonight? Is that a worry that it worries me so much? Okay, that ahead of us is Coathell Quay. C-O-T-E-H-E-L-E. So Coathell Quay. I hope that's how it's pronounced. It's beautiful. Got down to about 2 meters back there. So that would be dry by a good metre. And I had a look at the tide for effectively right here, and it's a 3 metre tide here, so obviously the tide's not pushing up as far as it can can do when it's closer to the coast, but this looks beautiful up here. White swans out there by the quayside. Four meters deep, so that's good. Right, so this is pretty spectacular up here. Welcome to Calstock. Spectacular viaduct. That is beautiful. I mean, check that out, people. Here I am anchored on the Tamar River by the Coat Hill tea room. I'm going to find out all about that tomorrow. Absolutely beautiful. It's an anchorage in Navely. It feels a little bit awkward being in the middle of the river, but there's not much other choice, and obviously nothing of any speed's going to come up here. I'm visible both ways. I'll leave some lights on the boat tonight, but that is stunning, huh? All you needed was a nice blue sky, and a pub. Other than that, perfection. Right, so here we are in the Tamar River. We're starting to come towards low tide. I'll just take you around the boat so I can show you where it is. I mean, the water was right up there, right up where the green reeds are. When it's at high tide, there's a 3 metre drop. So we've still got quite a bit to go, probably another metre at least. There's Awanui NZ, just settled there at anchor. A lot of flotsam coming down the river, so that kind of just attaches itself to the chain and the bow, actually. But yeah, there she is sitting in it. It possibly could have been another 5 metres or so to the left. Might not have been a bad idea. But yeah, we're 15 miles up the river now, and you still get a 3 metre tide 15 miles up the river. So that's pretty amazing. It's nice going around now in the tender at low tide, because I can see where everything is, like the dock over here. I can see that at high tide you could tie up there quite successfully. Last night the sonar was showing 1 metre off the bottom of the river. A little bit of debris on the chain there, nothing to worry about though, bit around the bow as well. The slipway over here where they launch their rowboats from. Quite a bit of tension on the chain, with that current. Not surprising, to be honest, but anyway. Let's Gonna head over here. The big challenge, I think I've got my gumboots on. So the big challenge is really finding places that you can actually get into. Especially seeing I haven't got a blinking little anchor on this boat now. I lost it. I need to get another one. Anyway, I'll head on up here. Obviously that pier off to the side there, if we had to, we could get on there in high tide, no problem. But clearly not at low tide. I'm so pleased I came up, I really am. It's been quite a neat experience, to be honest. Quite a neat experience. Beautiful area up here. Cornwall out there, Devon out there. Really nice. Actually, I probably could go into that slipway and then just pull the line up and find something to tie it to. Just got to keep in mind low tide and high tide, obviously. So that's the pub I was told was closed for renovation, but look. Welcome back. Currently serving drinks only. Haha. And it's a free house. How cool is that? Oh, what a neat place Calstock is. So it's on a walking route from Plymouth across the peninsula to the other side of Cornwall on the western coastline. It takes a week. So if you feel like doing a 7-day walk, stopping at cute villages all along the way and seeing amazing things, and not really Devon, you're basically in Cornwall, then it's worth doing. So I'm just heading up here. Apparently there are 2 pubs in town. So I'll walk past the Boot, it's called, see what that's like. Might stop in for a beer on the way back. And I'm going out to find some old tin mines. And they've turned some of the old tin huts into accommodation. So I'll take you out there. There you go. The Bootin. Oops, got on there. Closed private function. Well, that would be me, wouldn't it? Hey? Oh dear, oh dear. The Bootin, Wednesday to Saturday, 6 PM onwards. Apparently at the pub they're renovating, you can get a drink, so that might be open when I come back, we'll see. Very peaceful place, beautiful wildflowers everywhere that they ask people to leave planted, beautiful trees. And just give you an idea, in Holland now they're doing effectively eco burials where you can be laid to rest wrapped in moss and natural fibre in the forest. So they actually go and dig your grave and you're buried in the forest without a casket. And apparently, the body decays and sort of, 10 times as quick. And it's just sort of all part of the European way of going more eco-friendly. Difficult if you have to exhume a body, I guess, but what a beautiful cemetery. I don't think I've ever seen such a nice one. just with the trees growing out of it, all the wild flowers. A lot of the grave sites go well back into the 1800s. Think of all the lives that have followed on from these people. I saw one a while ago just back there, 100 years old. Passed away in 1940. Really nice. Really, really nice. Very peaceful feel. I do notice in this graveyard, compared to the other one we just went through, the massive difference in age that people pass away. Lots in here in their 40s and 50s, whereas a vast majority in the other one, 70s, 80s, 90s. Well, this one's amazing. I'll read it to you. This is erected by Elijah and Maria Gale in affectionate remembrance of their dearly beloved sons, Harry, aged 38, and Shadrach, aged 34, who lost their lives in the Titanic disaster April 14th, 1912. We often sit and think of them when we are all alone, for memory is the only thing that grief can call its own. For like ivy on the withered oak, when all other things decay, our love for them will still keep green and never fade away. Wow. Imagine that. Losing both your sons to the Titanic. And this one here tells a story as well. William F. Whitford of the USA, RCA, youngest son of James and Mary J. Whitford, who died in a military hospital at Winchester, July 29th, 1918, aged 39. Oh, a special place. So many gravestones here marked. People passing in their 20s and a lot younger. We just don't know how lucky we are. Look at that neat end fence post. Stone. Oh, I found it. Here I am going down the driveway to the old tin mine. And there's a couple of accommodation units here that people stay in. Looks pretty special. Who would have known? Who would have known? Looks like a chimney off to the left there. Might have to look at the process for generating tin, but it's pretty cool. I wonder what they are. I think they might be old shafts, are they? Mines of some sort? Don't know. Let's go and find out. Hello? Hello? I'll just read you a little bit of this. The Calstock mine. Mining has taken place in the Tamar Valley for centuries. However, the industry boomed in the mid to late 19th century due to great technical advances by the Victorians. At this time, Calstock became one of Calstock's most important mines, producing massive quantities of copper, arsenic and tin. In its peak, employed almost 200 people. Today, the many remaining buildings, chimneys, shafts and spoil tips are protected as a scheduled monument of national importance. And lots of habitat here as well. But arsenic was mined from 1853, or it started in the 1840s. Silver, lead and copper, on average, produced 680 tonnes of copper a year. It was abandoned circa 1890. And in 2000, it was protected. That's amazing. Alright, let's go and have a look and see if I can talk to somebody. That would be nice. And then I've got a funny feeling there's a walk back into Calstock along the river, which will be great. Then I'm going to take you for a zip up the river and see how far we can go before we run out. I think there's a weir up there, but we'll check it out. We might just find a pub. And this is the public pathway around the river's edge to Calstock. Looks to me like we're at low water, so might have trouble getting the tender back in the water, but we'll see. I'm in no rush. A few logs in the middle, so we're seeing those, that's for sure. Just met a young lad on the trail here with 2 dogs, really friendly. Anyway, had a good chat to him. And both the dogs are police dogs, but they have a normal home. So they're his dogs, but then they go to work to get trained and to do their policing, and then when they retire, they're still his dogs. I think that's a great concept. So it's, I mean, there'll be guidelines, there'll be things they have to do in that to look after them, I guess, and to keep them on the straight and narrow. But back home, the policeman has the dog. So it's not just a work dog, it becomes, well, it's hard not to become a pet, I guess, in the end, especially for your family. And I assume when they retire you can keep them. But I think it's a great concept. So they have a completely normal life after work. When they go to work, they go to work. And then for the dog handler, they're there to do a job, not to be a parent to the dog as well. I think it's fantastic. Things you learn when you stop and talk to people, it's all you have to do. Be friendly and chat. But that's a bridge. Oh, I'd love that at home. There you go, Christopher. We could bring that home for the gardens. So that all floods when the tide comes up. At the moment, low tide, so it's flowing out. And I'm told Calstock is 2 miles away. There's the bridge down there. Miles. Not kilometres, miles. So a Cornish lager, huh?
Yeah.
Born in Cornwall.
That's weird.
Nice.
Single or a double? And Korev is the Cornish word for beer.
Korev,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, apparently so.
It's just.
Does Cornwall have a different language?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It's one of the Celtic
Stronger, yeah.
community.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's, yeah, like British,
Alright.
Welsh.
And this is a free house, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, lovely.
What's about the second one?